Hello then, welcome back to another one of these videos. We're going to go through a few different areas and we'll start with social media. Football Manager, of course, released their trailer. If you've not already seen my other videos on this, go around, check them out. The first big feature then is the social feed tab. It's basically your own Twitter. You can see there that the spokesperson for the club, the sports spokesperson, is retweeting like crazy. Different things, different opinions. Okay, I feel split about it. While I think it's part of football now and it's interesting, there's that other part of me that thinks, is there any point in this? I guess it's nice to have. I mean, they've obviously worked hard on putting it in there. Whether it affects sort of gameplay, tactics, match engine, then I don't think it does. But as an immersive tactic, I think it's quite a nice thing to have in. And I guess that's what you're trying to do, right? They're going to add features to make the game more immersive over a number of years. So there we are, social media. Now, they've improved the inbox. Basically, they've made it more accessible, easier to read, easier to go through, and that's good because I think a lot of the problems people have with Football Manager is that they get a little bit cluttered. More visual aids will add to that. The way in which that information is presented is much improved and good because the inbox is the source of all the things that you do. Like, you go to the inbox to decide what to do next a lot of the time. So it's great to have that in there. You can see the way that sort of the league now looks when it's presented too. They've obviously made the game look better. I think dynamic odds within the sort of the league page is great. The fact it will change now beyond, it will change now based on how you perform in the league rather than sort of a static odds given at the start of the year is great because it gives you an idea of where you stand with sort of 10 games to go. I think that's going to be really great. Do they fancy you for it or not? But I think visual stuff in this way, in the format in which it's been laid out this year, is just it's not like, again, I don't feel like this year there are major improvements, but it's these little touches, these little improvements on last year's game that make the game better. And I think that's always what I've kind of wanted. I don't want mass change. I want things to just be improved upon slightly. Now, you might have seen there, transfers and contracts have had a big change too. Pre-contract talks, which I do think is fascinating because it will again make it more immersive. I think these sort of things give you a better understanding of how players and deals work in real life. Like, you can offer him, you can say, look, we'll give you a wage rise at some point. We're going to challenge for a title, and if they like the sound of that, if they like the sound of a pay rise, then they will take that pay rise. They will say, okay, yes, let's talk about it more. Offer me a contract. Let's get involved. I don't know if you always have to. I suspect you probably don't always have to offer things, but there is the option there for you to do it. And now with the addition of transfer sagas, it makes transfers a lot more in depth, and I think that's something that, as long as the AI are responsive to it and they deal with it in a similar way to any human would, that's great. By the way, this transfer window panel, I must say, looks absolutely great. You can imagine this on deadline day. After a few years as well, it's going to look fantastic. Regens coming in, what are other teams doing? I feel like that's something I always wanted to keep a track of in previous years, but I never found sort of an optimal way to do it. Having this screen now is just that, isn't it? That's exactly what we wanted. And they didn't stop there. More intelligent transfer AI, something that people have been calling for a very long time. They no longer want to see a player bought for 20 million and then he never plays. That's always been something that has irked me. Hopefully the end of that now, and hopefully teams make transfers that make sense to the team that they have as well. That would be quite nice. I think press conference has been improved as well. When in regards to talking about players, they will come and sort of pester you more, journalists, over the course of a season, which I think is fine. Like, I don't necessarily find it that interesting, and I might make my assistant do it sometimes, but it's still nice. This is something about deadline day as well, in that they've now given you the option to sort of, they will advise, look, if you can't get the player, then try and get them on loan because there's not enough time. Agents and players obviously have more power now. That was mentioned in the trailer, in the feature reveal, which is good and bad. I think there might be situations now where players are sort of, you think they're going to accept your deal, everything's going quite well, and all of a sudden their mind might change, and that's going to be quite frustrating. Like, as part of the transfer saga business, that's going to be interesting, and the way they can offer their players out a lot more and then sort of decide based on what you've said, do we want to carry on talking to this guy or not? Something else they put in is they can lock clauses. So if you are insistent on playing sort of on a monthly instalment basis, you can now lock that, which is something that they didn't have before. So good, great, I'm looking forward to that. I think that will improve the way the transfers are negotiated in general. And the wage fee differences, you can now do it that if they play, they get a certain percentage, and you can cut that up now. So it's not just a base fee of, okay, this is what you get per month. You can now do it so, okay, if he plays these games, then I will offer up the transfer fee, or I will offer up the wage fee percentage that I've accepted, which is good because, especially in the lower leagues, that will keep you afloat a little bit more. Like, you might get this player in, and then if he's not playing, maybe in a couple of games, you still have to pay his wage, which can be a bit rubbish. Finally, managerial transfers. You can now have the option completely to that. If you want to accept a job elsewhere, you can now say to that team that you're approaching, okay, look, I'm just going to finish out where I was before, and there we are. So social media, like, we'll see. I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. Inbox is there as well. Transfers and contracts. What are you thinking then? I guess I'll give a quick summary that with social media, I think it's nice. Do I think it's revolutionary? No. But do I think it's an important aspect of football these days? Yeah, of course. So they kind of have to put it in the game. It makes sense. Will it affect how I play the game? Probably not. I'm just being honest. Inbox, I think there's some great improvements to some of the screens, the way scout reports come in now, the way that scouting comes in now, and things like that. I think that looks great. I'm really pleased that they've improved that, and hopefully over the course of the year, you notice the difference, because you feel like, okay, this is the way we can apply different things now, and the way we can scout players is a lot simpler, and the way we can play just sort of player instructions and training, and it's all there in front of me. Great, really pleased. And transfers and contracts and sort of improved transfer AI. Perfect. Every year that needs to get better and better and better until it's perfect. So again, I think SI have done a good job. Hats off to them. But of course, I want to know what you think in the comment section down below on these particular topics. What you're thinking, let me know then. And of course, if you're looking forward to some more Football Manager content, a Leicester City save with me dressed as a fox coming soon. If you want to see more of that, stay subscribed. And if you want to leave a like on this video, please do. So we love with care. Not to mention, until next time, FM17 or not too far away. Goodbye.